Let's get nuts. Oh no. My glasses fell off. We need to get some tape for your face. I need some tape.
Hey guys, Justice Curry. I want to share with you a story and do some show and tell of some cool things that I picked up at a Comic-Con recently. So a couple days ago, my buddy reaches out to me, and Travis from My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me podcast, and says, hey, there's a Comic-Con in your neck of the woods. It's the Grand Rapids Spring Fling, and can we spend the night at your house, myself and his helper, which is OMK, Old Man Kyle. And I've been friends with these guys for many years. They've spent the night here. You know, it saves them from getting a hotel. But we normally have, you know, a real good time. I stopped drinking 12 plus years ago, and this plastic crack became my new toy obsession. Some, you know, with small kids, life changes, and I'm still around friends and family that like to party and have a good time, and I'm a wild bonkers guy anyway. So yeah, they wanted to come over and have a blast, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So on Thursday night, I helped them set up their whole booth at the Expo Center, and one of my buddies hooked me up, Travis, with this mythic Legion character. Since I have a translucent chandelier, let me show you. Yes, all my translucent figures. So I pick them up where I can, and he gave me this awesome mythic Legion to add to my translucent chandelier, which I believe glows in the dark. Well, anyway, you know, they start partying, having fun. We meet up with another couple, Deanna and Gavin from Tardy's comic book shop. They have toys as well. They had a booth at this Grand Rapids Comic-Con. And Tardy's is out of Grand Rapids as well. He's got 2 locations, another one in Allegan, and they are just really, really good, awesome people. So, I'm the DD. I get back to my house. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And it's Thursday night, so I got 2 small kids, a wife. They all got to get up super early in the morning, but you know, Justice and my friends, we want to have, you know, laugh and joke around and be silly. Anyway, I invite Gavin and Deanna over as well to my house. I'm like, they already had a hotel in the area, but I said, come on over, check out my collection. So they're like, sweet. I text them my address. We get home. Travis and Kyle are starting to have a jolly good time and being silly. Anyway, my wife stays up. She had cookies and popcorn for my buddies and I, and we're like, yeah, awesome. And Gavin is like, hey, I'm out. He's texting Travis, hey, I'm out front. Where you at? And we're out. I walk outside. There's no cars out there. I'm like, you're not at my house. And Travis is like, man, you gave him the wrong address. I'm looking at my text messages. I'm like, I didn't give you no wrong address. I call Gavin. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Where you at? He's like, I don't know. I went up a long driveway. You said you have a long driveway. And, wait a minute. There's a lady yelling at me that she's going to call the police. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you went to the driveway next to my house, which is up the hill more. And I said, no, that's not mine. Pull down, get out of there. And they're driving like a white panel van. You know, 2 strangers, 10 at night, going up to my neighbor's house. And the lady's like, I'm going to call the police. So I go inside and tell my wife, hey, text our neighbor, say it was our friends, that everything's fine. So she's like, all right, text my neighbors. So Gavin and Deanna come in. We're laughing about that. I'm showing them around. Next thing I hear from the peanut gallery in the other room, they're like, dude, police are up at your house. I'm like, what? And I left law enforcement about 1.5 years ago. Retired from the police force after almost 20 years in law enforcement. And I go outside and my wife's already starting to talk with them, but there's 3 patrol vehicles, the state police, the sheriff department, the canine unit, and they're like, hey, the lady called 911 saying people are going around to the back of their house, and now they pulled into your driveway, and we're figuring, you know, someone's trying to case the area or break in or something. And, you know, I'm like, hey, you know, we explained the situation. Their guard goes down, everything's fine. One of them's like, hey, you look familiar. I'm like, yeah, remember I used to work for the township. And they're like, yeah. So we're shooting the breeze. And my wife's like, come on inside. Come check out my husband's toy collection. So my buddies are all in here. We're laughing about this. I call up my neighbor because she didn't see the text message. I'm like, hey, that was us. I sent my friends over. They went to the wrong address. And she's just like, oh, I'm so scared. You know, kind of deal. Ugh. Anyway, we get back and the police leave. We're going, this is wild. So we're just having a good old time. I mean, we ended up staying up till like 1 in the morning and had to get up super early to get ready for the show again. But, you know, when you're hanging out with friends. Anyway, we have one friend, Kyle, who I've alluded to in the past. Kyle thought it would be wonderful to have his mixed drink and set it right here. Well, we're all in here, and Kyle kind of rushes out of the room, and I'm like, what's going on here? What's happening? And I'm like, why is my table all wet right here? His mixed drink full falls over, goes all underneath these things, but more importantly, it goes right here and then through the top of my several $1,000 gaming Mamba Jamba brand new built computer. And I'm like, mother scratcher. So I'm taking the sides off of it, getting fans on it. There's pop mixed drinks all over the place. I'm like, goodness great. And Kyle's like, oh, it's not a big deal. I'm like, your electronics and liquids don't mix, Kyle. And I was a little stressed out. I was stressed out to the max. But holding it together and going, it's an accident. It's not like he purposely poured it in there. But it never fails. And I made sure he felt guilty all night. And now it has a weird clicking noise to it. So thank you, Kyle. And I told him, if this breaks in a week, Kyle, this is from you. He's like, oh, if it breaks in a week, it's a coincidence. I'm like, but the next morning, we ended up having crazy fun. And I'll show some clips and stuff of Kyle being Batman and driving around on a little thing, and us just laughing, just having a lot of good times, and you know, hanging out with friends. When you start having small kids, your life changes a little bit, where, you know, you're not the party guy. I was the big time party guy before kids and early on with my kids' life, and your seasons change. And I had a problem with alcohol. Thank goodness I gave that up, and got a much healthier addiction. But something I found at the toy show. Now, with certain Comic-Cons, like, I love vintage toys. That's my knowledge base. That's what I love to collect. That's what I love to buy and sell. Most Comic-Cons, modern. Very rare where you find vintage toys. There was a few at my buddy Travis's booth, but he is primarily modern. There was more at Tardy's, Gavin's booth, and, you know, hundreds of other booths just have modern toys, except my eyes caught this. Now, this is not very sentimental to me, but I know that there's a big market for it, because it came out in 1995, so I was more into video games, phasing out of toys. But Exo Squad, people love these. They're very, like, Robotech-like-esque. If you like Robotech, it's like the next generation of Robotech. I think there was even some crossover with the Valkyrie and the designs or the molds and whatnot. What's special about these is they're sealed, and I try to find comparable values online, And I think I found this one in particular. People are asking, I don't know, $300+ for it, and I got it for much less than that. But you know, when people go, what's going to be the next greatest thing? It's going to be toys from the mid-90s, because the toys from the mid-80s, like the Snake Eyes and the Storm Shadows for G.I. Joes, or the Masters of the Universe, that generation now has disposable income, which skyrockets the price. Well, this generation, 10 years younger than me, they're going to start having that disposable income in the next 5 so years, and they're going to be hunting. I mean, there's still market for it, but if it's $200 now, it might be in the $500, $600, $800 in another 5 to 10 years. That's my prediction anyway. So this one is really neat, as well as a second one. And you know me, Bundle Master, I just said, hey, what if I buy both of them? And she knocked down some money. And their focus in the booth was Lego, so she didn't really have an affinity or a care, just wanted this out of her booth, which is a positive. But getting all the little parts and pieces, I learned something too, because I've had this black piece multiple times in lots, and I'm like, what is that weird little black piece? Opening this up, I go, oh, it's Robotech. So minty, nice box. If you're not following me on Facebook, make sure that you watch me and follow my Facebook account, because that's where I primarily sell. I don't like going to eBay and other sources. I like to undercut eBay and give people good deals, and I sell things like that. So thanks for listening to me. Just again, not too much toys, mainly wild story times with police coming to my house, friends thinking that they can dump liquid into thousands of dollars of computer electronics, and then just being silly, and it's fun. That's the adventure of life. So make sure to like, subscribe, do all those little things for social media. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.
You're dead to me.
You gotta say it. Say it. Say it.
You're fucking dead to me. You know what we're gonna have for breakfast?
No, that's not, that pocket's not for you. 54, 58.
Dude, let me fuck cut you. What is going on here? Oh, you're such a...
What's in that pocket?
Yeah.
Hello guys, Justice Curry here. I'm at the Grand Rapids Comic-Con Spring Fling, which is actually in Kalamazoo, and something with the venue. I'm helping my buddy Travis set up his booth. I'll show it to you in a moment. The show starts in a couple hours, so it's just the vendor set up right now. You know I'm vintage through and through, so this is not the show. If you like vintage G.I. Joes, there's only one booth, which is Tardy's comic book shop. There's Gavin and Deanna. They have a booth over there, and there's some really good vintage that they have, but primarily everyone else is modern toys. Mythic Legions is Travis's specialty. He's also with OMK, Old Man Kyle. How you doing, Kyle? What's going on, buddy? Yeah, yeah, we're doing well, He's just doing some last minute pricing, but they have an excellent booth. So if you guys want to head on down to Kalamazoo and check this stuff out, you should.